What's up, y'all? It's your boy Smaqs, and you tapped into the Cage No More podcast once again. Let's shout out to our sponsors, man. This podcast is brought to you by the Renaissance Ranch in Bluffdale, Utah, a men and women's leading treatment center to help you start your journey. So if you know anybody struggling from addiction or incarceration and trying to get their lives together, make sure you tap into www.renaissanceranch.net and get your journey started. And also, another big feature that we're having today. Today, this episode is being featured. We're featuring Brick by Brick clothing. As you can see, I got the clothing line on. It says right here, Together We Rise. Brick by Brick. Make sure you tap in and follow them on Instagram. Great clothing, great sweatsuits. Love their products. Now, today, I got a very special guest once again. And I know that I say that a lot, that I got a very special guest. But all the guests that I have on my show are not only just guests, but they are friends, they are family. So I had a very special guest on my podcast today. And his name is Michael Ulibarri. Michael Ulibarri is the executive director of Defy Ventures. Let's go, Michael. How's it going, my boy?
I'm good, man.
Man, I love that you were able to carve some time out, bro, to come and sit down and talk with me, man. You know, us being formerly incarcerated, actually being incarcerated in prison at the same time and doing time together, knowing each other from the inside. You know, it's obvious that I should be able to get you in here to be able to tell your story, especially with the great things you've been doing. So typically, I like to dive into a little bit of your upbringing. You know, what led you to prison, and just tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself and let us know.
Yeah. So as you said, I'm Mike Ulibarri. Formerly incarcerated. Spent most of my life, starting at the age of 13, incarcerated. I now lead Defy Ventures. We're an entrepreneurship program that focuses on mindset shifting. Inside a correctional facility. So we're currently in Utah. We're currently at the men's and women's prison here.
I love that.
And then we're in 9 states and 24 different prisons.
Man.
Our biggest footprint is California. We're in 18 different prisons there. Tri-state, Colorado, Florida, Texas.
I love that, bro. Let's get a little bit of the life you were living before you became the man that you are today, because I know it's a very important, it plays a very important role in people understanding that we can come from that life, right? Mm-hmm. We could come from the life of addiction, of incarceration, and pull our lives together and really step into our purpose, right? So, are you from Utah originally?
Pretty much. No, not originally, but I came here. I started coming here when I was 5, and then when I was 8.
Okay.
So I was born in the Caribbean.
Oh, that's right. What led down to your life of crime? How'd that start out to where you eventually ended up in prison?
Yeah, so I'm the youngest of 9 to a single mom. My mom was married, had 8 kids, got divorced, and then 11 years later I came up.
Yeah.
So we lived paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Mom was always my mom did everything foundationally correct, right? She kept God in our life. She kept food on the table. She kept a roof over our head. But that sometimes meant working 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was left to the streets a lot and left to my siblings my sisters, for whatever reason, name a family in here that's notorious in the prisons, and those are my sister's boyfriends. The Quintanas, the Vigils,
there you go.
The Martinez's. And my brothers were heavy in the mix too.
Yeah.
My brother was incarcerated when I was born. He was in state school they used to have a state school up in Ogden. He was in state school and then in prison. So incarceration and crime and violence. I pretty much was raised up in Rose Park.
Yeah. That's a rough neighborhood.
In the early 80s, you know what I mean, when everything started really blooming. Like a lot of the polys started coming.
Okay.
Then it was just like all the California gangs started coming and having influence.
Yeah.
Colors came out, so Diamond Street, 21st Street popped out. Like those gangs are specifically off of that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it went from at one point we was all in elementary school friends. Junior high school, things started splitting.
Wow.
I grew up in a situation where my sisters were always, like I said, they were always dating with the knuckleheads.
Yeah.
So they was always caught up in domestic situations. So as a young kid, me, mama's boy, my mom couldn't go nowhere when I was hugging on her leg, right?
Yep.
So every time she had to go pick up my sisters and them, I was there. So I got to see that shit as a kid, and violence became normal. And I remember at the age of 12, my sister's boyfriend had slapped my mom when she went to get him.
Okay.
I mean, my homeboys were walking out alley, and it was back in the days when everybody had the golf clubs. You remember the golf club joints?
Yeah.
If you was in the hood,
bro,
you had golf
a golf
clubs.
club on point.
And we popped around
Wow.
the alley, and he was parked in the driveway at my house, and we just let off on him. And at that point, I was just like,
Yeah.
shit, bro, like all that powerlessness I felt, like we took that power back.
Absolutely.
And from there, it just easily led into like, I didn't early on get caught up in the gangs because that was my brothers in them and they kept me out of it.
Yeah.
But sooner or later, like my group of friends started forming into,
Yep.
you know, hanging
Their
out
own
with
little
different
cliques.
crews and stuff like that. So just hanging around with them, I came up and being around them type of people
Yeah.
that was in the streets and gangbanging and hustling, violence and that type of stuff was rewarded.
Prevalent. Yeah, for sure.
So me, I'm a smaller dude. So for me, it was just like bomb first, right? Like you gotta
Yep.
get off because
Yeah,
you might not
bro.
get a chance,
I
right?
know, especially when you smaller like us, dog.
So I was that type of person. I just knew like if I let somebody get off on me,
Yeah.
like I don't know what the situation, but I
For
can control
sure.
it. So I learned on very early on that like violence was a solution in my environment.
Yeah.
And I know it ain't a solution all the way around, but like growing up in environments that
Oh, for
we did,
sure.
like it is a solution, bro. It keeps
Yep.
you safe.
Absolutely.
That led me into like fights in the school, which led me into like detention. And there, like the stuff started solidifying.
Yeah.
Hanging out with the homies and stuff like that. And then I just cycled in. They took custody of me from my mom, put me in youth corrections at the age of 14. And it broke my mom's heart because my mom could care for me. It was just
Yeah.
I was acting a fool.
Yeah. It's
And-
just starting to be too much.
Yeah, I went into O&A. Was my first trip in youth corrections.
What is ONA?
Observation assessment. So I think it might still be around, but JJYS used to be called youth corrections back in the days. And it was the first stop. So they would take you in there, like the prison would have the 90-day assessments.
Yep.
Same thing. You would go in there and you would do a 90-day assessment, and they
Okay.
decide.
As a youth.
Yeah, as a youth. I was
Okay.
14 at the time. They decide whether you go back to your parents, you go to a Proctor home, a group home, secure
yeah.
care. Send me to Proctor home. I ran. I was
Yeah.
always one of them dudes that always took off from everywhere.
Yeah.
So that just constantly like led me into, eventually like led me to Decker Lake, which is secure care. And I spent from the age of 15 to the age of 18 there. Had my son in there at the age of 16 and then got out for one day at the age of 17. Done like a dumbass, brought back some acid.
Yeah.
Got another year. And then when I was released 6 months later, I was on my way to prison. And
Yeah.
then
See, man.
that cycled at a young age. I got 10 years and it just like, I had to survive. My brothers and cousins were already in there and they already like had reputations. And I just got in there, man. And I bought into the system, bro. I bought into that life.
Yeah.
I didn't have no choice. I didn't know I was only going to do 10 years. I thought I had 2 1-15s. I was like, I thought they were going to like,
And what was the 10 years? What was the charge?
I had a robbery charge.
Oh, a robbery charge.
We
dog.
kicked in and robbed some dope dealers.
Yeah. So what's because it's interesting to know what state of mind you were in. You were coming from Proctor Homes. You were young. You were a teenager. Already done a substantial amount of time in like youth corrections. What led up to you standing in front of a door, getting ready to kick it in as a teenager, bro? As a young adult.
Man, I feel like the life of crime it spirals upwards.
Yeah.
Like you might be selling some weed and then 10 years later, like you on a body somewhere.
Yeah.
I think you normalize, right? Like to me, I'll just kind of give you a little context. To me, like my therapist asked me one day, she's like, I want to ask you a series of questions and tell me at what point does violence become a thing to you? You're yelling at somebody. I'm like, nah. And we go through like pushing somebody, smacking somebody, black eye. And to me, it's not registering as violence.
Wow.
To me, violence is stomping some dude out.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what we saw.
Absolutely.
Right? That's violence.
Absolutely.
No one dude's like in a wheelchair or
Yep.
he's off or whatever. Like that's
Yep.
us is
Overkill.
violence. So the same thing with crime. Things just became normal. Running up on a dude and punching him, it became normal, bro.
Yeah.
Going to detention became normal. I knew all the staff there.
Yep.
So for me, it was just like that. I bought into it, bro. Like I didn't really see anything outside of that lifestyle. Like my sisters were all on drugs.
Yep.
My brothers were all in and out, like on heroin. to me, in the life I grew up with, a win was just not being strung out, bro.
Yeah.
Not
Absolutely.
being strung out and figuring a way out of like incarceration. But so things just became normal, bro. It just became easier to do and worse, and then you get in there and you meet more people in detention, right? Some are further along than you, some are not as far along as you, and you meet and you connect, and next thing you know, you're in a group home and you take off on a run, and dude's like, I know Paisa dude over here got work.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is
go over there and get that.
And you run in. I didn't even know the game. I didn't know it was cracking. I just ran off a dude's info. And
wow.
Yeah. So
that could have been such a dangerous situation too, bro.
For sure, bro.
Especially as a young one.
For sure, bro.
So now you're how old are you at that time, staring down a 10-year sentence?
I was 18. I was 18 years and 9 months.
Wow.
It was September. I got out in March. In March of that year, got out of Decker Lake. In September, I was in jail fighting that case.
Man. So you're staring down a 10-year prison sentence. What is that like?
Shit, at first it was 5 lives. You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're 5 lives, bro, and I have multiple.
Don't know. Yeah, and I've talked about it before.
Yeah, I had all the stuff: aggravated robbery, aggravated kidnapping. So I got like a 15 to life with some like 3 or 4 5 to life. So like
L's on there.
I mean, at first I came in and I was like, it hit me, and I went through all the emotions. But at some point, I was just like, fuck, bro, this is it. Like, I'm caught. And like, how am I going to survive this? And I was just locking in, bro. And be like, this is my life for the next however many.
Yep.
And I went in and I acted a little bit of a fool in the beginning too. And then I finally went to the board, and there's like, gave me a 10-year rehearing in the beginning. And I really was, my son's mom had just decided like, I've been waiting since we were 12.
Yeah, bro.
I had my son, he was just about 2 years old at the time. You know, she left, and I just like, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I locked in, and at one point, bro, like shit just got played out, and I started doing some education, but I was still doing my thing.
While you was in there?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's good.
And I was just making little moves here and there to like better myself, you know, hoping that one day there would be something out. And when I put in a redetermination hearing at 7.5 years, and they turned my 10-year rehearing into a date.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, all right, well, and I got out, and I was right back to it, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's like that, bro. You get incarcerated, you go to prison, you do everything that you possibly can, you fall in line kind of, and then they surprisingly just let you out and you weren't expecting, and then you just go back to what you know, bro. Yeah. So that for sure could be hard. How was it? So being we're of you're 18 years old, you're a little bit smaller. We're a little bit smaller, right? How did that affect you coming into the prison at that time? Did you have to deal with the fights? Did you have to deal with people trying to test you at all?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. In my mind, though, like I felt like I still feel like I'm 7'10", dude. Like I had no choice.
I feel that.
I gotta have that mindset.
Absolutely, bro.
But I did get tested, but most of it was because of my family.
Yeah.
And we were even
because of the last
at that time
names.
we were even the groups we were hanging with at the time were even separated.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get along anymore.
Wow.
They're like, oh, you so and so's people, right? Like you owe me money for dope or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know all the shit that goes on in there.
Absolutely, bro.
And they're gonna try to put pressure on you to see, oh, you need to pay that debt or whatever, right? So I had those kind of pressures, but I also had a lot of people who I knew, not just from like people I grew up with, but people who I grew up in juvenile system with. So like blocking those guys.
Yeah, T-Block. Shout out to T-Block, man. He's doing good too.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm glad.
He's doing great.
But Block and Fecky, bro, like they was some of the first people. I lived with Fecky for a minute.
Yeah.
So lucky for me, bro, I had a lot of people that I fucked with that fucked with them. We was cool. I just always had my back. So, but yeah, no, definitely, bro. You're gonna get tested no matter what. Because no matter who you cool with, there's somebody that ain't cool with them.
Absolutely,
So
bro.
as soon as they catch you without them,
yeah, dog.
you know what I mean?
They trying to test that. So while you're incarcerated, you say you kind of bettered yourself a little bit. What does that look like as far as like, did you go to high school? Did you get your high school diploma? What does that look like while you were in there in 10 years?
Yeah, so the first time I did the building trades.
Oh, okay.
At Solid Community College. But that was mainly like, I did it and it was cool because it was like you can get 2 paychecks.
Yeah.
You can get time cuts. But 288 was just really the spot to be back in the day. So I did that just so I could mainly stay over there.
Yeah.
But Yeah, that's kind of that. It kind of led me to some really good, opportunities when I was released. Yeah.
So skills that you acquired, I would assume that you're saying
Yeah.
that you use later on in life. That's so dope. So you get out after the 7 years, 7, 8 years?
I did 10.
Oh, so you did the whole
I did
10.
the 10, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you did the 10. Oh, that's right. They
I did
turned
9
the
years,
10
7 months.
rehearing into a date.
9 years,
Wow.
7 months. Is what I
That's
was doing
good,
total.
dog. So you get out and you get right back at it.
Right back at it, bro.
Yeah.
I was back in prison 6 months later.
Really?
Yeah.
On new charges?
New charges.
Wow. So listen, what was going on in that 6 months?
If
If you remember, dog.
My mind just couldn't wrap around. Well, okay, it was a few things. But first, like honestly, like in full transparency, like my mind couldn't wrap around being free.
Yeah.
That was one. Two is like I got married a month before I got out of prison, and
To the love of your life.
and it was one of those girls who like riding dudes in prison.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as soon as I was, but
What is
no,
that?
she was cool.
Love during lockup.
Lockup. No, she was cool, man. She was a really good person. I just jumped into something before I knew.
Yeah.
I got out, and you want to do stuff. Like you want to be hang around. You want to live. Like I've been all my teenage years locked up, all my young adult years locked up, and I wanted to go out to the club, all that stuff. And she was already
Wanted
done.
to turn up.
She was already done, so that caused a lot of rift between us.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I went back, did 6 months, got out. 6 months later, went right back.
Wow. Did you ever suffer from addiction at all as far as drugs? Were you doing drugs?
No.
Okay, yeah,
Not
because
really.
I don't remember you saying you had a drug issue, which is a thing, right? A lot of people think, man, if you go to prison, you're a drug addict. You're possibly a drug addict, but that's not necessarily the case all the time. A lot of people that end up going to prison are just addicted to that lifestyle, bro. Addicted to what that lifestyle is, and like you said, they're living a life of violence. That's just you carry that on into your adulthood, and then that's the only way you know how to deal with situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
But like in all honesty, bro, I by the grace of God, I didn't get addicted, bro. Like I done all the stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I went on a cold run with ecstasy for like 3-4 years, bro.
Yeah.
Doing lines when we're drinking.
Yep.
It just never turned into like
A super
an addiction. Like it was like a weekend thing for me. And not to say like somebody mentioned that could be like a polydependence kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you're just addicted to mind altering substances.
Yep.
But it wasn't like addiction as in the way that I see it or like the world sees it, where it's somebody like that's in the cycle that they're not getting at it. But honestly, like by the grace of God, bro, like all my siblings, all 8 of them, all addiction, bro.
Yeah.
My brother just passed from cirrhosis from drugs and
Sorry
alcohol.
to hear that, bro.
All my nieces and nephews, well, not all of them, but I'd say a good percentage of them.
Yeah.
Addiction, bro. Addiction plagues my family 100%, bro.
Yeah. So when we were incarcerated, we were in the substance abuse treatment program, and I know you had to do it to get out. But what charge were you? Were you in a violation at that time too, or did you catch new charges?
Yeah,
dude, because it was a crazy story. I think I remember you telling me you were doing good. You were doing the engineering, the music engineering, right?
Yeah. So after I went back for the 3rd time, right, I got 2 years.
Yeah.
They let me out, and got out, got right back in the mix, caught a case, didn't get caught up for it, bro.
Wow.
Made it off parole. Statutory parole termination was 36 months. They kicked me off. Like my parole officer called me. I was on ankle monitor, bro, till the day I got off. Because they knew some way that I did some shit, but they couldn't.
Yeah, they couldn't pin it.
He called me. He's like, "You get off tonight at 12 a.m. Drop your electronic monitor off." I was like, "You pick that shit up at 12 o'clock in the morning at the trash, bro." But I just luckily made it off, bro.
Yeah.
And I went back to Salt Lake Community College, and I was doing music, recording engineering and music production at Slick. And I was living with Brandon, my buddy's basement at the time. We were living in Holiday, and he decided to sell his house. And I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do. And the only other place that I knew was Vegas at that time.
Yeah.
Back in my hustling days, I used to have a spot out there. Me and old boy that we did the podcast with, H.
Oh yeah, H.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Shout out to H, man. H, the technician. He's killing it too, bro. A lot of these guys are killing it.
And yeah, it was the only place I really knew, bro. So I went out there and I had a CDL.
Yeah.
And I was running construction material up a hot ass roof, bro. And I was just like, had a Prius, bro. Gas was like
bro.
$1 sub. I work Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Bro, I go to sleep Thursday, wake up Friday morning, bro. I drive to California every weekend.
Yeah.
And Airbnb, and I'd be like 200, 300, 400, and be back. And I was just like, damn, this is life, bro. From the age of 13, I never been out more than like 6 months, bro.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Usually it was shorter. And yeah, I was out there, man. And for the first time, I filed taxes. And as soon as I did, the marshals came to my work and hit me up on a cold case. It was 6 years and like, so the statute of limitations is 7 years. It was like 6 years and like 2 months, bro. I was like, damn, but
damn. So they double back on a freaking cold case, bro.
Okay, cold case.
What was the cold case? What was it?
Same kind of similar situation.
Robbery.
Similar, yeah. So dude just pulled a scandalous move. We was working together, and
Yeah.
it was all trees, and he said he brought some shit back, and it was trash. And,
Yeah.
and really like he had got some other shit and was just trying to help me get off the old brick shit. Remember?
Yeah.
Brick weed.
bro. Like,
he gave me the brown shit, bro, the moldy
bro.
shit, because that shit become moldy. You didn't know how that
bro.
shit
It's
become.
been sitting for like a year, bro.
And then I was trying to get off, and it was like, "No, your boy, why you trying to give me this shit? Like your dude got all this." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So I just slid on him, bro. Smashed him out. Me and another dude.
Oh,
because
okay.
I was silent partners with another dude.
Yeah.
On 10 bands.
Okay.
And he was pressuring me, so he's like, "Nah, dude wasn't acting," so we just slid on him.
Yeah. Okay. So they doubled back. So they probably waiting to build a case on you. As soon as you filed your taxes, they came at you.
Yeah.
And what they do? Did they kick your door down or something?
No shit. I was at work, bro. I moved up from driving a truck to inside sales, bro. I was making. This was 2013. I was making over 100 bands, bro.
Wow.
Selling building materials in Vegas.
Wow.
I moved up to the manager and training program, and we were sitting at the desk. It was about 4 of us, and one of the dudes gets this call, and he hangs up, and he's like, "Mike," he's like, "somebody's on the phone, bro." He's like, "Bro, something ain't right," because he's like, they asked like about some government shit, and I was like, "Oh damn!" And I answered the phone, and there's like, "Is this Mike?" And I was like, "Yep." And I hung up, and bam, they were in the door.
Wow.
Right at work, bro. So, yeah, man, I bailed out and I went back to Vegas and went back to my old work, and I talked to my boss, and I was like, he's like, "Dude, take care of your shit and I'll hire you back."
Yeah.
Like, what? And I was like, he's like, "Dude, I don't know that person. I know a motherfucker I know a dude that worked for us for 2 years that we used to place bets on how quick he'd get done with his work."
Wow.
Because I had no choice. Like, when you come out of prison,
absolutely,
you got a little something on you, and you think you could.
Yep.
And I was 30-something at the time. I was 30, I think I was like 33, 34.
And that's when you went back when I went to the prison when I met you?
Yeah. So a little bit before that, because I fought the case a little bit.
That's right.
So, yeah, so I went back to Vegas, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, I'll hire you back."
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't know that person." He's like, "I don't even care to read." He's like, "Everybody came and told us like what was in the news."
Yeah.
He's like, "But I didn't really care to read it."
That's good.
And so yeah, I came back, fought my case for a couple years, and finally ended up just pleading out to a second degree, and that's when I went back to prison.
Yeah.
But I knew at that time, like, I had a foundation, bro. If nothing else, I could go back to Vegas and start running shingles, bro.
Yep.
And I was like, and I met this girl while I was on bail, and she really got me into like healing, and she had me like, I was a raw vegan at the time, doing like ayahuasca, holistic stuff.
Yep.
We did an ayahuasca ceremony, we were doing stuff like that, and I was like, all right, man, like
you tapped in now.
Yeah, and then when I went back to how I ended up in Conquest was, they still had me on the whatever was like the gang list or whatever.
Oh yeah, gang file.
But at that time, the dudes that I was hanging out with ended up turning into Norteños.
Yeah. Oh,
so I was on
okay.
AB Rec.
Oh, that's right.
So remember me and Powder and all those guys, because that's the only place we could be.
Yeah.
So Powder and all them dudes
So they
was
sent
over
you
there.
out there.
So they was like, you could either stay here, but the homie Dopey was like, bro, He's like, that ain't you, bro. He's like, get out of here. He's like,
Yeah,
go over
you
there
might as
because
well.
he's like, we're on site with these dude, and it's to
Yeah.
to
The
you're done.
Southsiders in the Northeast?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was like, that ain't you, bro. He's like, I know your brother, man. He's like, go do your thing, man. Get out. And so that's when I was over there with Powder, and
Yep.
they had about 10 of us over there
Yeah.
at that time. Remember, just a couple of them dudes
Yep.
from Ogden. And,
Yep.
So that's why I did everything, bro. It was like I graduated, then I did the cook program because I
Yeah.
knew if nothing else, bro, I'm gonna go back there and like I ain't gonna let some dude just try to kill me, bro.
No. Absolutely
So
not.
fighting back because it's gonna lead you into that, and then you're stuck. So I was
Yep.
like, shit, the homies gave me a way out, bro, and I went over there and do therapy, bro.
Did you parole from that building too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember us. I used to remember us sitting on the bunk, dog, and we used to talk about what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Because you was already obviously you had a taste of what it felt like to be the highest version of yourself, and now you're sitting in prison. And me as well. By the time I went to Conquest, I was already 5 years clean, dog. So I'm already vibrating at a high frequency,
Yeah.
just waiting to hit the ground running. But I remember we used to talk about what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
And just to watch and see what you've been doing, bro,
Yeah,
it's just crazy, bro. It's a testament, bro, as to the will and determination to be better and to step into the higher version of yourself, dog.
What's up, my boy? You looking for treatment? You tired of going in and out of prison? Come on, I got you. Well, here at the ranch, we don't just diagnose your addiction. We teach you the necessary tools you'll need to combat drug use and repeated incarceration.
They say I'm flexing when I smile. I'm just thankful for my life now.
We'll get your body in top working condition to be the protector and the provider for your loved ones.
You don't know the sacrifice.
We keep you engaged in fun activities with your peers that make an easy transition into society.
Head clear. No guilt in my gratitude here.
We get you engaged in activities you may not usually do to bring the best version of yourself. We are not just therapists, counselors, and teachers. We are a family, and we are a brotherhood. So if you're ready to start your journey today, have your caseworker reach out, set up a professional visit with me, or have your family reach out to get you started. Oh yeah, before I forget, we take TAM Medicaid for housing too.
So you end up getting released, and I know you're doing a lot of big things right now in the prison right now, but let's talk about what led you to what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I got out. So, okay, I'll back up just a tad bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I started teaching Gogi.
Oh, that's right.
And the staff...
Gogi is get out by going in, right?
Get out by going
Yeah,
in.
get out by
and,
going in. It's a program. Tell us a little bit about Gogi.
Gogi's a program, I think it was created in California by some people who were incarcerated.
Okay.
It's a basic book of like, it has a set number of steps that you just go through every day, like letting go. Then it frames them in a way that people who are incarcerated could understand, and they could start to use these tools.
Okay.
I ran it because it was another way to stay in Conquest,
Yeah.
right? Because I graduated culinary arts.
Yep.
And then I was a librarian and I taught Gogi. And the only reason they let me stay is because they was like, you got all the dudes that we can't get to go to class. We're in your Gogi class.
Yeah.
Block, you guys.
I remember that.
Your
I
little
remember
brother.
that. Yeah,
And there's like, you got all these dudes in here who wouldn't normally go to their classes.
Yeah, bro.
And so they let me stay, and then I started teaching at Real Transition.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
And when I took over that program, it was built around that Daring Greatly book. And
Yeah.
I would just tell everybody, like, my mom had a stroke while I was fighting my case.
Yeah.
And I just told everybody, like, look, man, I just want to go home and be with my mom, man. And
Yeah,
and,
absolutely, bro.
people started responding to it. So when I got out, I got the opportunity to start the Real Transition out here.
Okay.
And then I did the peer support. So I got the peer support certification. And then my therapist started taking me into the juvenile to the facilities.
Oh, I remember that.
So the first thing I did was we partnered with Bike Utah, and we did a bike mechanic training with Specialized.
Oh, okay.
And we did the first one in Slate Canyon, which is up in Provo.
Yeah.
And we would do a 12-week course and certify them. And I just came in as like lived experience, peer support.
Yep.
And then we did the same program for the women, for the young ladies in Farmington Bay, the bike mechanic. And then that funding ended, and the director at the time, Brett Peterson, I got to know him quite a bit, and he asked me to come back and start doing it. And that's when I brought you in, remember? To that
Yeah, I
first
remember
meeting over
Decolate
there?
when we had that meeting in there. Man, I wish I could have committed to it at that time. It was just such a rough time, dog.
Yeah.
But I see that you guys were still killing it out there too.
Yeah.
And getting in front of those dudes. It was crazy the statistics they were talking about. How I think it was like 2-3 years before we had that meeting that the number of youth convicted murderers was like 10, maybe 10. And then when the day we had that meeting, there was like 38 of them of convicted youth killers, bro.
Bro, we
convicted for murder, waiting to go to prison.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We currently right now got 63 youths fighting homicides right now.
Man.
And between Ogden and Salt Lake. Yeah, so I went a few times prior, and then when they were like, "Can you get a group of guys to come in?" And that's when I brought.
Yeah.
And were you there the first time we sat in that room? With
the officers,
the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought people in, and I brought you in. You were the first one I brought in.
Yeah.
It was just you. It was
I
just me
remember
and you in
that.
the beginning, and yeah, it slowly progressed over time, and I started just showing up. Then I brought, like, Lecky came in with me a couple times. Then the day ones, Dez and Solo, we'd go in all the time.
Absolutely.
And then slowly, like, more the day one people, the day one family would come in. Shout out to day ones, like
Day one's out there killing it, pushing the line
Kim and
too.
Teresa right now are like making sure that the youth are like being taken care of. You know, Dez is like a great leader, bro. And yeah, and then that turned into like connecting with One Kind Act. And then we did the Mural Project. So we partnered with Tracy and Multicultural Affairs, One Kind Act today, Ogden Contemporary Arts. And then Tracy's the Polynesian artist from, she grew up between Glendale and Oakland.
Yeah.
And Tracy ended up doing 3 murals. She did Weber, Farmington, and then she did Detention.
Okay.
And then on the next one, Tracy, it didn't work for her because she was going back to school and flying back.
Yeah.
So the next one, I took over as lived experience, and we brought in the homie Beto.
Yeah.
And we did that big Aztec mural inside of Slate Canyon.
And what is Slate Canyon?
Slate Canyon's like Decker Lake, like
it's another youth
secure
facility.
care. Yeah,
that's right.
and then that kind of worked into me partnering with Department of Corrections, and I was working with the youthful offenders, which are those are the ones that are going to prison.
On the way to prison.
Yeah, so Utah will provisionally house them until the age of 25.
Yeah.
And then they'll go unless they act up. Then they can go anytime after 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I built a pipeline with Jenny Taylor and Johnson, and we built like a reverse pipeline. So as soon as they would touch down inside the prison, like I would pop up and visit them. Me and Dez.
Yep.
Me and Dez would pop in there a lot and visit them, like the day they would touch down in R&O. And then they got the homies from Solid, Buck, Fredo, man, what's the other? There's another dude that's there that
He's a former Southsider, huh?
I don't know. But
It's funny because I was in the prison doing a group in the Achieve, and he was telling me that on Tuesday he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go." No, Wednesday. So they talk to the youth. That you guys are working with.
So that's the whole pipeline we created.
Yeah.
So it was like when they're ready to crash out, then Solid, the guys from Solid would step in.
Yeah.
And Buck and the other guy were both certified as juveniles.
Yeah.
And they're both doing like chunks, like 25, 30. The first intervention would be to try to just get them on a Zoom call.
Okay.
And we had a partnership between
departments. And so they're when you say get them in a Zoom call, because I want to break down and make sure the listeners understanding this, that you would go into the detention, you would work with youth offenders that were on the way to prison, right? And you would facilitate them meeting current prison inmates that are adults that are have already got their peer support and lived experience to mentor them. Is that what you were doing?
Yep.
Wow.
So we work with Sasha on them and Jenny and Aaron Johnson on that.
Okay.
And that was the guys from Solid. So it was, there was about 5 guys from Solid, but 2 of them had been certified as juvenile or as adults.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we created that and started doing that. And then as I was just in the prison more and more and more, I got involved with Defy. First, I
Yeah.
was like a volunteer.
Did you kind of take your hand off of the situation with the youth working I feel like because it's still kind of going on its own now.
Yeah.
Like you created it, you had the inner workings of it, and stepped back as it worked itself out. I feel like now because they're still doing it.
Yeah. So what I did and where I became really niche at what I do is because I have had access to like some really high level leadership programs and stuff like that. So what I do was I develop programs that could become self-sustainable by people in there. So the art program we did at Slate Canyon, we didn't just bring in an artist to do art program. We taught one of the young artists how to teach an art class.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing they were saying was people come in and after their time's up, we don't see them again.
Yeah.
And it would break my heart, right? So I was like, we would teach them. So that's what we did with that same model. It was like, we'll build it out. I'll bring all the tools in from the outside and all the resources and all the knowledge. We'll build it out, and then we'll train you guys how to run this.
Wow.
Just how Solid is doing their thing. Like,
absolutely.
Because it does a few things. It empowers. It gives equity. Like, man, I built. Especially if you're a lifer, bro. Like some of our peer facilitators who are lifers and never think they could ever get out and do any good.
Yeah.
When they see that they could impact somebody that's in there, that's getting out, and hear a story of like, oh yeah, so-and-so, they just launched a business.
Absolutely.
That gives that person inside purpose, bro. And they're like, oh shit, like, damn,
That's so
I did that.
dope, bro.
And they get to hear that and they get to be like, man, like, so then they come back and they got this lust for it. And they're like, man.
Bro.
And then at the end of the day, even if you're in prison, you could impact, say you just impact, if you did 25 years and you impacted one person a year and that changed their life. And now their kids are no longer in the system. Because the statistics show for every parent that goes into, specifically fathers, I don't know that the data shows the same around the mothers. Yeah. Probably it's a whole different set. But there's a 50% chance that your child is going to follow you into incarceration.
Absolutely.
If the parent shows that they've corrected their behavior and is now modeling a responsible that reduces that by 80%. Bro.
Wow.
Because now that kid could get in a fight at school and be like, all right, it's not the end of it. Like I watched my dad come out of prison.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
And he got a whole life now.
Yep.
Right? So, those statistics, man, I think were just like, to me, it was like where I started seeing like, I just want to create impact. Bro.
Yeah. Is that what the motivation is? Because I know a lot of times in the beginnings of what we do as far as going into the prison and giving back, this is stuff that, typically, we're not getting paid for. So what would be the motivation that you think of what you do and what you've done?
For me?
Yeah.
So, bro, I have survivor's guilt, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be bumping my stereo and I see somebody homeless on the streets, I turn it down, bro. So it became a thing is like, I got a nephew and 2 nieces in there right now, bro.
Yeah. Man.
Right now.
Man.
And my nephew's doing life without, and like, I was his role model, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And I had like my nieces and nephews, I had a second opportunity and I started steering them right. And then I started just trying to like encourage homeboys to start businesses. You know how back in the day, you know how me, bro. Like I
already know.
You know me, but
business
if I know
oriented.
you, I'm gonna try to get you to start a business or start a movement or
turn
create
you
a
into
podcast.
an entrepreneur
right?
real quick.
But for me, bro, it was just like I didn't want to be the only one, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, when Block went back, bro, like that was a real big turning point for me because I was like, I wasn't a positive influence when we hung out.
Yeah.
I wasn't, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. Because I honestly didn't think he was ever gonna get out again.
Yeah, me neither.
And I was sitting there like, fuck, man. The times we hung out, bro, like,
yeah,
I was over there drinking with him.
So you
and
felt
shit.
responsible in a little bit. Yeah.
And then I started running into people. I tapped in with you again.
Yep.
And I started seeing people who were creating motion. And I was just like,
Absolutely.
well, whatever information or access to shit that I got to, like, I just want to pass it on and see what
Oh,
people
and you
can do
shared a
with it.
game for sure. And honestly, bro, to be honest, I remember when I was in the beginnings of even doing my podcast, even the thought of a podcast, and you would tell me, you're like, bro, you got a niche for this, dog. You got to capitalize on this. And look where we are, right? You know what I mean?
Sure, bro.
So, bro, you're passing on that information for sure, dog.
So I want people to be gamed up because the thing about it, bro, is when I go into secure care, I see my homies' kids, bro, all the time.
Yeah.
In In Farmington, they're both out right now. But in Farmington, bro, 2 of my homies' kids are there. My homeboy J Rock's kids, and my homeboy I forget his name, Maceo.
Yeah.
Both of their kids are in there,
Bro.
And then I go to Decker Lake, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know my uncle," and I was like, "Damn, bro!" Like,
Man.
and that's where those numbers started making sense, and I was like, "Damn, they're following."
Absolutely.
Him. So I just didn't. And incarceration's crazy, bro. Like we don't. Growing up in our environments, bro, like it's normal. We don't see it as taboo or something. We see it as like, especially young brown men, bro. We see it as a viable piece to our future.
Rite of passage in some
Right?
shape
It's
or
like
form.
I'm gonna try to get this bread and start a business before I get caught.
Yep.
Right? So I just wanted to see more people getting out, and I started seeing more people, and that just like lit a fire for me, bro. And I was like, and then when I tapped in with Defy, I was like, man, I could do this at scale.
Yeah.
Like it's just not me doing it. Now I got this. There's a national team behind us.
Yep.
I just hired somebody new. We have these big events, you know.
Love that. Explain what Defy does. What does Defy do, and what is the purpose of Defy? So the listener kind of has an idea.
So what Defy does is they use entrepreneurship as the vehicle to shift your mindset.
Yep.
So entrepreneurship and the basis of entrepreneurship, just a little history, is built around a book called Who Owns the Ice House. Mm-hmm. And it was the philosophy that entrepreneurship is a set of skills that you develop, as opposed to like my aunt ran a beauty salon for 50 years.
Yeah.
Successful. She probably couldn't have went and did anything else.
Yeah.
She was a business owner.
Yep.
So based on those premises, there was multiple programs that came out, leadership programs, all built around entrepreneurship and the mindset shift. So the founder, Kat, was a venture capitalist, and she volunteered at the prison and saw this as like a viable way. So then they started developing a curriculum, and we do say it's an entrepreneurship program, which it is, the second half of it, but the first half is built around the first thing they do is, so it's 7 months, it's 6 hours twice a week.
Wow.
Or
That's
6 hours a
commitment.
week. So 3 hours twice a week.
Yep.
And then like another 3 to 4 hours a book.
Yeah.
And there's 4 books. And the first thing that you develop is a personal statement. I'm Mike. This is my past mistakes. I'm no longer that person. Here's who I'm going to be.
Yep.
Create a resume that explains your incarceration, but also highlights your skills, right? A lot of people specifically people incarcerated, think that they don't have any skills. But I use this perfect example. I don't got any skills. I've been in this my whole life. But you run a kitchen in the prison that feeds 3,000 people.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yep.
Right? Or you run a commissary, you work at commissary.
Yeah.
You have these skills, we help them identify it and create a resume. And we do a whole series of like radical acceptance of responsibility. It's a whole big piece of around
laying the foundation.
Yeah, we know, and it's a very intensive, it's very demanding, and it like.
I would assume you have to
asks a
be
lot.
pretty vulnerable too about as a person stepping into that program.
Yeah.
Which is far from what we were taught to be.
Yeah.
So that for sure is changing the paradigm as far as what we believe in as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that, bro.
So radical responsibility, radical acceptance of what you've done. We have a high expectation, high demand, and then we take the second half of the course, the next 3.5 months after. Okay, so let me right in the beginning, in between those. So in between those, we do what's called a business coaching day, and that's where you went.
Yep.
No, you went to graduation.
No, I went to I think it was where they did their pitch.
Yeah, so that's graduation.
Okay, yeah.
So business coaching day is it's a very similar concept. It's a whole day inside the prison. We bring volunteers, about 40 to 50 volunteers.
Yeah.
Everywhere from people with lived experience to we've had legislators in there. We have business owners of every kind in there. We have business leaders. We have just crazy amount of people different people that show up and types of people.
Yeah.
And we go through a series of coaching on their personal statements and their resume.
Okay.
And then their business idea, just the ideation, just the thought of like, this is what I might want to pursue. They get feedback, and then we take the next 3.5 months and we develop out that
Developing
business.
it, bubble it. Okay.
And then at the end of that, we do a graduation where we bring in a group of people. Like we do video. We've been really good at getting a lot of stuff on video. And
That's
stuff
good.
lately. So we take them through the coaching, and then they pitch their business, and they've worked really hard on pitching their business and are creating their pitch, and they pitch their business. And then the top 5 will then pitch in front of everybody.
Okay.
And then we award them 500, 400, 300, 200, then like a fan favorite's like 100.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a big graduation, man, as big as we can do it.
Wow, that's
Cap
good,
and
man.
gown. We bring in food for them.
Official.
And the prison has been like, really honestly, shout out Department of Corrections, man, because they have been an amazing partner, dude.
Yeah.
Like I talk about all the time, like us going in is crazy.
Yeah.
I trip out because my badge opens the chapel
Bro.
door. I still be looking around like, is this?
It's crazy. When I got my badge too, bro, it's like, because I've been in there. I've went in speaking and before I got my badge. So I know how it feels to be escorted around by the police. Now, when you get your volunteer badge, bro, and you're opening doors, dog.
When you could drive,
Bro,
when you could mob around there by
yourself. I'm walking around the prison by myself too, dog, and the homies are like, Smaqs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my badge only opens the chapel door because that's where we have class. And I usually get there before the staff. But it's just a trip. But right now, like Department of Corrections is doing a lot of really cool stuff with. I'm getting the whole rehabilitation and reentry team together because I've been working with all of them in 3 different silos. Like Randall, Honey, and Mortensen are like, they do our MOU stuff, so I work with them, and then I know Jenny Taylor, and I know Amanda, and I've been working with them all these 3 different ways. Now we're getting them together, but we're also doing the same thing on the other side. So I met with My Story Matters with Amy, One Kind Act, and ideas to like create a coalition because we all have we either have different resources, different sets of skills. Like we're good at what we do.
Yeah.
But I'm not like My Story Matters is good at what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Solid is good at what they do. But I feel like a college, it could be like a college campus where if you do a bunch of these little things, because that's what I did, bro. It was like, I got out and tried to go back to school and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to build a life and keep a school schedule. I couldn't.
Yeah,
So what I did is I probably took about, I'd say close to 25 certificate programs were either like leadership programs or entrepreneurship programs. But all those I was able to piece together, and that's what landed me in this position, bro. Because
great.
To be an executive director, you mainly have to have like a master's of public administration.
Absolutely.
So I created this, bro. Like doing these little things, and I'm like
creating that space for you, dog.
If we could do this inside, bro, they don't have to waste 7 years.
No, absolutely not.
They could come out and be so much more prepared. And we do something we do well with Defy is, us and My Story Matters are the only 2 programs in there that can work with people as soon as they get out. We can go pick people up.
I love that. So, being you say that, how many people have are making that transition from Defy so far into the world?
So we've only had 14, bro.
Oh, okay. But those are how successful are those 14 have been?
We had 0 comeback. Our longest one now has been out 15 months.
Wow.
We started 2 businesses. So
those are big numbers.
Yeah, handyman. We have 2 guys that started a handyman business.
Wow.
And then we have someone who created, and these are all the businesses that they did while in Defy.
Okay. The development of it started in the Defy program in prison. Wow.
And the other girl did her book. It's called The Gathering Table.
Oh, okay.
But Defy will support. So I'll get into that. Defy will support.
Yeah, okay.
So 100% are housed.
Wow.
There's a couple of them that are at Orange Street.
Okay.
But they want to be there because they want to stack money.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are housed. I think there might be like 1 or 2 looking for jobs. 2 of the guys that just got out. But we meet them at the door if they need us to. If not, we connect with them as soon as we're able to. So if they go like to a sober living, they have like a blackout or something
for like the first week.
Yeah. But as soon as we can make contact with them, we bring them a Chromebook. So everybody gets a Chromebook for free.
That's good, bro.
We give them a 1-year subscription to LinkedIn. And now we're working on another one with Harvard X.
Oh, okay.
So just basic, they can get LinkedIn, like Pro, but they can get the LinkedIn Learning, so they could do these little
that's
micro
good.
programs.
Yeah.
Word, Excel.
Help them build their resumes.
Yeah, and build these up. But then we can provide them with all kind of different support. So we have partnerships with housing. So we got Salt Lake Crossing downtown, which is a really nice place. They are housing. They're willing to house a couple of people for us.
Man, that's good.
And then we have employee partners too. We have a couple partners. So Google Fiber is gonna create a big partnership with us to do.
That's big, bro.
Yeah. So they're gonna hire a company that's ran by a formerly incarcerated guy. So then he's gonna make money, but he's also gonna be able to
spread that with
the
formerly incarcerated.
A big chunk of his team is already formerly incarcerated,
Wow.
and he's been hiring him. So that's why we partnered with them. So
I love that, bro.
yeah, man. And we just get to create partnerships and support people how we can. We work with everybody, like we talked about connecting with with us in Renaissance Ranch, and just trying to really build like the community and the ecosystem where people could be successful, because there's no one direct way.
No.
Like me and you are sitting here across each other right now, probably I feel like in really equal, like successful positions.
Absolutely.
But so different how we got here.
Absolutely, bro.
So different.
Such a different route. Dog.
And everybody else's is so different. And that's what I try
Absolutely.
to tell corrections is I was like, you can't throw $1 million at a program, even if it has the best thought thinkers of the time.
Yeah.
And it could be the most well-constructed. It's only going to work for a set group of people.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be the majority.
No.
But if we create this community, like I love like what Day One does is they create a community, right?
Yeah.
Like you can go there. And
So
you
they
can
have
be
access
there.
to everything.
And broadening that and creating this community where like maybe I don't fit to recover,
Yeah.
but some of them dudes do.
Absolutely, dog.
Right? And they need to be there. Like that's where they're at, right? I'm an outdoors guy, right?
Yeah.
Just to be outdoors, like
Yep.
all this stuff for people, so then people can pick and choose those things that are going to help them be, because
Yeah. Subjective to what they like, right?
yeah. And I think for all of us, the way we come about our process is very different, bro. Like you went home to a wife and kids.
Absolutely.
Right? So you got like that.
I like to
came
call it a
back-
starter kit.
Yeah.
So it's different.
I came back to this deep healing, bro. I
Yeah,
did 5 ayahuasca ceremonies.
Man.
I did probably 25, 30 mushroom.
I always hear so much about like the ayahuasca
Oh my God,
therapy
bro.
and the
Oh my
and the what is it micro with the mushrooms.
Microdosing?
Microdosing, dog, that it helps out a lot, or even macro.
Yeah. Or even mushrooms that are done ceremonially, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you're just taking them, like most people think of taking mushrooms, but there's spaces where we could have like psychedelic ceremonies that's more like people down. There's a shaman in there. They got sound baths. There's all that kind of stuff.
In a controlled environment.
And it's meant for healing.
Yeah.
But you have like ketamine. You have a lot of these like healing modalities that people are starting to explore more.
People are trying to gravitate more towards holistically. So you've done a few of those things, so it kind of opened your mind a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I would assume that helps a lot with what you're doing as far as in the Defy, bro. Like with the guys in prison. Are you doing any holistic teachings with any guys coming out, or is that just a personal thing?
Yeah, no, that's just a personal thing, man. I'm really trying to lean more into it because I really think that people, men, especially men that have been incarcerated, could really benefit so much from it.
Yeah.
I still do a lot of like sound baths. I do sound baths almost every week.
Sound baths are great, bro.
I do yoga a couple times a week. I'm like I said, I'm outside. I've kind of dialed in my practice, and means like I just love to be outside, bro.
Yeah.
I live close.
Connect to wilderness, bro.
I live close to the capital area, so I'm like, in like a month or two, I'll be outside every day.
I love that, dog.
So I've found out what works for me, but therapy is a big piece, bro. Like I still do therapy consistently.
So how do you feel about therapy? Because a lot of people like just taboo to therapy, right? What is your thoughts on therapy and how it helps you?
Yeah. So I first fell in love with therapy in Conquest, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Because
Me too, dog.
As the librarian, I was always in the hallway, and I'd always talk to. Remember what McLeod was his name?
Ron McLeod, man. Shout out to Ron McLeod, man. He was my
we'd chop
therapist
it
as
up.
well. Yeah.
But I'd hang out with everybody. Remember, I used to hang out with the Muslim imam. I'd be hanging
Yeah,
out with
bro.
everybody. I just want to chop up. I just want to chop a game. But I had two really good therapists. Kate Johnson was very knowledgeable, and then we had a graduate therapist. I can't remember what her name was, but everybody hated her because she was so strict, but she was so knowledgeable. But so what happened is it was during that time where the trauma started being like a very common term. So I just started learning about it, and I was like, shit, dude, like that's what's wrong with me. Is like I'm not messed up.
It's
dude, I got my mom went into premature. I was born prematurely because the weekend before my uncle just got shot in the head right here on State Street in 6 South. So there's a lot of stress in my family. So like I was born into the trauma,
stressful environment.
And my mom had been like, my mom was like, she was one of those traditional women who like stuck it out, dude.
Yeah.
Amazing woman who just stuck it out with like a really bad husband. So when I started learning about trauma, dude, I started being like, okay. And then people started giving me little like tools to address shit. And I was like, cause you know me, bro. I was square bear up in Conquest.
I know, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Go home. I was shit. Bro, I got in trouble like 1 or 2 times, and it's for like having too many books or something. Yeah. And I was like, well, then I'm gonna solve that. I'm gonna become the librarian. So I got all the books I want.
Bro.
But there was something to it. Like I said, I'd just been out for a little bit for the first time in my life. I've been out for 6 years, bro.
Yeah.
And I was living, and I was like, okay, I want to get back to that. I want to get back to my mom, and I got trauma. But there's ways you could fix it.
Yeah.
And I had met Jessica, and she's the one who took me on my first ayahuasca ceremony before I went back.
Okay.
So I knew. So I went back to prison. And I was like, oh yeah, this ain't it, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's such an out of body experience. I'm sure being in there, because I remember you talking about it, bro. Like, dude, I experienced being out of prison and vibrating at a high frequency for 6 years, dog. And now I'm back. Yeah, this ain't happening again.
And that's why I got really into reading. Like I've read, what is that book? Be Here Now? Is that what
is it The Power of Now?
Power of Now.
The Power of Now.
Like
Edgar Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle. I read that. I probably read 40 or 50 biographies. Steve Jobs, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Yeah, bro.
Still a big reader. Still, I've got hundreds of books at my house. But I started reading those personal development books, dude.
And just got lit
Eat, Pray,
fire.
Love.
Yeah,
Jessica put me on the Eat, Pray, Love when we met, bro. That girl Jessica, when I did the ayahuasca with, and I would read that book every year, bro, and it kept me focused on that. And I had like 50 songs on my MP3 player, bro, and they all took me to a place outside of prison. And I'd spin the yard with you, bro.
I remember.
I just spin it, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna be at his place, and then we chop it up.
Yep, wanted something different.
You. I would walk with Dopey.
Yep.
What's the old boy used to be from the V? He went back after a long time too. Was out like 10 or 15 years and went back. But Omar Sanchez and even Block was doing investing at that time. I wouldn't be around no nonsense, bro. And I tell people all the time, like, look, if you want nonsense, bro, like, I ain't trying to really.
Man.
So I made sure that I stayed focused. Like me and you would talk about this stuff all the time, bro. And then we really connected over that class. Remember what's her name's class about childhood development?
Oh yeah.
That was a dope. It was like a year long.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you was getting visits with your kids.
Yeah, that's right. We were doing family.
I would learn from you guys, bro. And I'd sit there and I'd be like,
I love those classes, bro.
Yeah.
And those classes helped out a lot. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Conquest program is a 12-month substance abuse treatment program that they offered inside the prison. Now it's called Achieve, and I believe they whittled it down to like 6-7 months, which I thought wasn't very smart. Like a 12-month program, being incarcerated, bro, it for sure is imperative for somebody who has a substance abuse treatment program. You go through rigorous one-on-one treatment therapy, group therapy, and also those are what they call hybrid classes like parenting, relationships. Man, I love those classes, bro. I think my wife and kids were able to come in on family day twice because I was out there for 2 years in that program, man. But dog, I loved it, bro.
Yeah.
Man, dude, but I know you've been doing so much, man, out here in the world, dog, creating that space, bro. And like myself, dude, you created made a career out of your lived experience, bro. So I just want to commend you on that, dog. Is there anything? What do you got coming up? Is there anything new that you can let us in on that you got planned coming up?
Ooh, man, nothing new. I just think there's going to be a lot of growth for Defy this year.
Yeah,
like a lot of growth. I'm sure there's gonna be some new stuff popping up.
Absolutely.
I'm always trying to stay like in the mix of like. Well, I think if I could really get a lot of people on the same page, even at one table, I feel like Utah's already trending as like
Absolutely.
doing. I just spent the first part of January with our national team and our whole executive team in California, and got to check out a couple of prisons out there, and like
I love that, bro.
dude, we're killing it. And then when I was doing stuff with the youth,
Yeah.
and I was doing like the national partnership with juvenile services, I was traveling all over, bro. And like we're really
I love that.
our juvenile JJYS isn't doing good, but like the Department of Corrections is killing it,
Yeah.
and hopefully just more collaboration with Department of
For sure.
Corrections. I feel it's to a point where the administration at Department of Corrections knows everybody, all the lived experience people by name
all the
and face.
former.
So
I know, dog.
when I see that, I get
Yeah.
so excited because like we went
love
to that the documentary, and everybody was just sitting there communicating like, bro, we never see this, but yeah, man. Hopefully, just more collaboration, more stronger collaborations, more like partnership agreements,
Yep.
ways to like maximize what we're doing, like some Power Ranger shit, bro.
I love that, bro. So if there was something that you could think of, right? Some gem you could drop on a formerly incarcerated individual, what would you tell him that would help him get his life and be more successful?
Man, I'd say like, a couple things. I'd say one, like there's a narrative that's being told about like you're going to be limited when you get out
Yeah.
to construction or this or that, and that's true if that's what you choose to do.
Yep.
Right. Two is like you can kind of do whatever you decide to do, bro. Look, we made lanes, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
And
Created
look
the
at Wallow.
career. Yep.
Wallow, shout out Wallow.
Shout out
Wallow
Wallow.
was like my mentor, bro. I'm like, this dude got out like a few months before me, and this
Yep.
dude is like
A millionaire, killing it,
killing it, right? So
and he's helping incarcerated individuals.
yeah, and he's putting people on games. So social media is changing the game, bro.
Absolutely.
Look at all these dudes getting rich off of doing burpees, bro. That have been locked up.
I know.
The
dog.
game is changing.
Yep.
Figure out what you're good at, what makes you unique.
Yeah.
And like with you, bro, like we talk about all the time, like find who you are, bro. Lock
Absolutely.
in, because there's so many people, bro. I just found out California has over 100,000 people incarcerated.
Yep.
And I was like, 100,000 people, bro.
That's like city. That's like cities.
Maybe if I'm lucky, 50 of them gravitate towards
Yeah.
me. So find your niche, bro. And two is like, whatever you see anybody doing, whether it's myself, you, day one, that should let you know that that's the bare minimum of what can be done.
Absolutely, dog.
The bare minimum. Even if you found out who was the greatest dude in post incarceration, I'll just say let's just use like whoever that person is. That should let you know that that's the bare minimum.
Absolutely.
That right there is accomplishable.
Yep.
If he did it, I could do it. Bro.
Absolutely.
If
And
I
the
did, I
sky
could do it.
and the sky's the limit,
bro.
I love that, man.
It's changing, bro.
Man, I
Changing.
appreciate you coming on the show, bro, and dropping your knowledge, dog, and telling your story, dog, because it's imperative for our listeners to hear. You know what I mean? Because I'm a firm believer in, incarcerated individuals and formerly incarcerated individuals wouldn't know what it looks like to be successful if we weren't in front of them, showing them what it looked like.
True.
So I appreciate you coming in, my boy
Appreciate you,
Ulibarri,
man.
my boy Michael. Man, so you heard it from my boy Michael with Defy Ventures. He's killing it out there, creating that space, creating that lane to teach incarcerated individuals to capitalize on the spirit of entrepreneurialism, but bringing the best version of themselves out in their lives. That's the show. I hope you guys tap in again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's your boy Smaqs.